This week I was talking with, finishing up my chat with Mark Fujiwara about mental health and the triggers we got to watch as ADHD entrepreneurs about mental health challenges and changes. And the one thing I want to make clear is no one is immune to mental health challenges. It could be a chronic thing for quite a few people, but no one's immune. And everyone's exposed to it. We're exposed to it and we suffer from it from time to time. And this was the second part of the discussion I had with Mark. It was very extremely fantastic, especially during this trying time that I'm going through. And I'm still processing a lot of stuff and I'm on the upswing, but it's still a challenge to get out of this. Maybe I thought it was depression, but it could be just extreme mental exhaustion and emotional exhaustion based over the last 8 months of the challenges here. And then especially the last 2 months, which has been very, very heavy and relying solely on me to get things done. So the main thing I wanted everyone to take away about this two-part discussion is that why we need to talk to people. That is the main thing you've got to take from these discussions is you have to talk to people. And why is that? ADHD brains have a hard time to process things internally. In your head, in your head, you can process theoretical stuff, but it's an endless spinning. And then if we get into a negative emotional attitude or funk, becomes negative rumination. Our brain's really good at ruminating because it goes 100 million times faster than most. And it just becomes a repeating record. Sorry, I was going to say disc. Got caught with all the different changes from record, CD, tangent. On to the next. So the trick with the ADHD brain is when we're thinking stuff, we have to bring it out. So either we write it down so we can see it, then our eyes see it, it goes in a different way. We talk out loud, our ears hear it, and it comes the other way. Once it comes out and it comes in a different way to our brain, then the ADHD brain is able to put things together and you get clarity. And I really saw that over the last few weeks because I reached out to people by talking. Once I started talking out loud, I started to hear myself and processing it. And so it's very key that we talk to people about it, or at the very least journaling or writing down the challenges that's going on. And then even if you burn it or delete it, it gets out of the head so we can see it a different way. We can hear it a different way. And at the same time, we feel it a different way. So 2 people you could talk to and you must talk to: friends or family or a therapist. Okay. Friends and family, they're right there. They're closer, they're quicker. And the majority of them are there to help you and they're there to listen to you. And that's the key thing, which I'll go a little bit further later. But friends are there to comfort you and to support you during this time. Okay. Now, why a therapist? Okay. A therapist doesn't mean that you're crazy, that you're going off the rails. A therapist is there in my books for 2 main reasons. One, to help me manage and understand my mental health and to get and create structures and mechanisms to get out of our mental health challenges. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with the mental health challenges. It's not like when you sprain your ankle and you work on it, strengthen it, and move on. You'll probably strain it later, but you still have to work on it. Mental health is no different. Okay. There's nothing wrong with getting help from a professional. So the big thing about the therapist is that it clarifies our distorted thinking. Our brain is so good, ADHD or not, is so good at protecting us that it will create distorted thinking for you to believe, to feel better for yourself and to protect yourself. And at times it'll keep you in those negative environments because you're comfortable and you know that's where you feel the safest. So understanding these cognitive distortions, as is it's a cognitive behavioral therapy term, it helps you identify when you are going and this one I'm really struggling to communicate effectively, but this is one: distorted thinking and cognitive distortions are very believable when it's our brains and our minds that creates these distortions. And you got a professional there who understands the difference, who asks you the questions. Is it a fact? Are you sure this is true? Or isn't it true? So getting the clarity and the proper interpretations of what you're feeling and what you're going through is very key to a professional therapist that's there to support you. And that's why you need the two sets of people, the friends and family that are there quick on the spot for you, and then your professional therapist who's there to help you with your cognitive distortions and your distorted thinking. And distorted thinking is a very powerful thing. A lot of us don't understand, especially with the ADHD brain never stopping. That negative rumination will just really bat down on you and beat you up. And you don't deserve to be beat up. But just remember, your brain is there to protect you, and it's doing its best. It just doesn't know what's a positive or negative outcome. And negative outcome is maladaptive behaviors, distorted thinking, cognitive distortions. Okay. Now, this is what I want to talk to you, the listener, is when someone is helping you, even a therapist, most are pretty good at this, but your friends and family, they are not there to help you get out of it. They're not there to provide you advice or be critical of you or make recommendations on how to feel better or see it differently. Okay. This is very key. So if you can communicate this to your friends and family, or you got people who are listening, who help other people, this is very key when someone's having a mental health challenge or situation. And this was very key for me because this is what happened with these people. And like Mark discussed in our thing, you are there to listen. That's it. You're not there to judge. You're not there to criticize. You're not there to provide solutions. You are there to listen, to understand what they're feeling and what they're thinking. Okay. You need to provide them, or you, the listener, you need to have that person choose the person specifically because they provide you a safe space where you can discuss anything about almost anything and you're safe and it won't go anywhere. Because that's huge. You need that trust. Okay. Provide the safe space. If the listener or the person that you're seeking to be listened, who's going to listen to you, only ask clarifying questions. That's it. Not leading questions, not questions that help support a theory you have, just clarifying questions of the situation or how they're feeling. That's it. Best is actually very little questions beyond how do you feel? How does it make you feel? What happened? Okay. The point is to get the information out of the person so they can hear it. A lot of it has more for them to hear it outside their head, which is very important for ADHD entrepreneurs. It has to get out of the head. And then sometimes it's that simple. It's, and I say it out loud, it doesn't seem that bad after all, but what the hell was my head doing? And we need to differentiate the two. Okay. Major key. No opinions of what they're feeling or how they're feeling. You have no idea what that person is going through, and you have no idea what they've done to that point. So no judgment, no opinions is hugely critical because you can really lose that person. Because I know when I start people telling me how to do things I should have, and here's their opinions, I should have done different, I'm done. That's no longer a safe space. Opinions do not belong in a safe space. Okay. Now for you, the listener, the other thing besides having to talk to people, the thing you need to understand with all this mental health shit and all this bullshit that's being told and everyone's talking about but doing nothing about it. Mental health is not a social practice. Sorry, not a social. I misread my own handwriting. Let me start over. Mental health is not a solo practice. You can't do it alone. You can't figure it out alone. You need someone to create a safe space for you to talk. Because that's what mental health is, talking it out to get understanding and clarity. So you got your friends and family that can provide you the safe space. And you also have your professional therapist. You can't do this alone. Reach out. And the people don't reciprocate. Are they truly your friends or family? You'll find someone. And usually someone who's going through the same type of thing or something similar, they will always listen. So find someone who will listen to you. Find someone who will provide the safe space for you because they will not be judgmental or opinionated, and someone who will only ask clarifying questions so that you can talk about what's bugging you. So mental health is not something to mess with. It's not a solo practice. Please reach out to someone. If you need to talk to anyone, reach out to me and I will listen.